All right. Welcome in, everybody, to the Sunday edition of Sunday Morning Quarterbacks, coming at you live right at 9:07 on the East Coast. So a little bit earlier than usual, but still the same winners. And we'll still be joined by our analysts to be covering all the games on the slate today, from DFS, player props, totals, spreads, everything under the sun. Drop your questions or any winners you got in our YouTube chat. So if you're watching us on Twitter, hit the link on the title, drop over there, ask us any fantasy questions, start sit. We'll try to get to all that good stuff. If this is your first week, we don't know where you've been for the first 11, but better late than never to start cashing with the fellas. It's all powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Be sure to be tapping in there. I guess Eddie got a cover, not a dub on Thanksgiving, since we know he rocks the Lions, but that's what happens when you're a day one sub. We know your teams and we follow along with you. Sosa and Spin as usual. How we feeling? How we feeling? Spin,
You're
you
on mute.
muted
Spin, you're
yourself.
muted.
Doing good. My team's back in action today, so it's been a long few weeks, but excited to see how we play out the rest of the season. So yeah, it's a good day. I was telling Rex earlier, got all of our Christmas trees up yesterday, 6 in total in our house. That's how we do Christmas. Yeah, tell me about it.
You
Yeah,
better have a good homeowner's insurance.
yeah, no,
Those things
yeah,
go up like, whew.
no. They're all fake. They're all
Oh.
fake and flame retardant, so we're good.
Good. I was about to say, I've tried that. Those things go up quick. So how you feeling?
Oh, man. I'm sad as shit. Don't let this smile fool you. Notre Dame lost last night. Offense
I
did
warned
nothing
you,
to start.
but you didn't want to listen.
Offense did absolutely nothing to start the game. Could have played better, but I'm disappointed. I don't like losing. It hurts. Not really happy with the showing. The defense gave us everything they had. Offense could not keep up. I'm unhappy, but here we're here today. Going to get some money. Ready for NFL Sunday. Been a great holiday. Hope you guys had a safe and productive Thanksgiving. Obviously, Spin got the trees up, so at least we got something going.
Yes. Crazy episode yesterday. Paid for play. Some wild results there. We'll see if our man Dumb Brain Pick Sam Murphy shows up today after his Tigers taking a hard L to Texas A&M. But that's yesterday. Today, we got plenty of action.
Let's go.
Let's just get into the first game, then not tease it up. Don't talk about Thanksgiving games. That's a long-ass time ago. We were live for that, so just nailed the ATDs there. Jags, Ravens. Sosa, you got to start it off with this one here.
In this one, man, I'm inclined to take the Ravens to cover. This is just it's a hardball spot. It's a line under 4 in the month of November, entering December, when they play their best ball. I mean, Baltimore's been really good. But their defense has been continuously good. They run a very solid run control, ball control offense where they limit the possessions that you're going to get. And then in a close game, they have the best kicker of all time. I like Baltimore on this one to cover the 3.5. I'm inclined to believe in Christian Kirk as well. Christian Kirk has absolutely balled out at home this season. I think his number's at 62.5. I like him to get 70 yards. Wouldn't be surprised if he got in the end zone either. I see Baltimore being in a situation where they exploit a lot of underneath stuff and slot stuff. The perimeter corners for Baltimore are very, very good. It's gonna be pretty difficult for them, in my opinion, to get a lot of stuff to the outside receivers. I think Kirk plays pretty well. I think Ingram has a good game as well. But I still lean towards Baltimore covering a 3.5. Home, away, it doesn't really matter with them. They're going to win the game. I mean, obviously the 13 was a huge number last week against Carolina. They probably should have done it, and I think they would have if Marlon Humphrey doesn't just sit down on a pick. He probably could have took it to the house, but that's a different story for another day. I'm on Baltimore, I'm on I like Christian Kirk's receiving props and possibly sprinkling him for a touchdown. But that'd be it for me in this one.
Yeah, for me, no real take on the game. I think it's probably Baltimore or nothing here. I get a little bit nervous just because Jacksonville is coming off of a bye with the 2 weeks to prepare and at home. However, I wouldn't let that dissuade me from taking Baltimore here. My real takes on this are for fantasy. Obviously, if you have Lamar, you're starting him. If you have Christian Kirk, I think he's a very viable wide receiver 3 or flex play, for sure a flex play. But the one that I really want to focus on here is if you platoon your tight ends, or if you just decided to go with him a little bit just a little while ago, Evan Ingram for Jacksonville. So Ravens ranked 25th in tight end coverage DVOA, which is significantly lower than the rank against any other position. They also have they're also friendlier to tight ends by adjusted fantasy points allowed than any other spot. I think that Ingram plays in all fantasy formats today. He's caught 4+ balls in 6 of 8. And I think that he is also a very, very viable DFS tight end start, because there's not a whole lot right now on the main slate that I love for tight ends. So I think you can spend down in salary and you can get some great value with Ingram.
Yep, both of these team totals are juiced to the under here, with Vegas seeing a 23 or 24-20 type of game here. I don't know. Seems a little fishy with the Ravens that short of a line, but they usually seem to always be laying that type of number on the road. Let's get into game number 2. Another quality matchup here. Spin Houston versus Miami. What do we like here?
Jeff Wilson Jr. by 100 miles. It is going to be very tough for me, or it should be tough for you, to make any cash game DFS lineup without Jeff Wilson in it. That would have been true probably before Raheem Mostert was downgraded to doubtful. It's highly unlikely that he plays. So you can expect at least 15 carries, probably 17, maybe even 20, against a team that ranks dead last against the run, is allowing over 5 yards per carry, and lead running backs are carrying the ball over 20 times per game against the Texans. The reason why is because it works. So Jeff Wilson could be in for just an absolute monster day. I do not see many scenarios where he doesn't score a touchdown today. So even though it might even be a little bit juiced, the ATD makes a lot of sense. But I think that you can take Jeff Wilson's yards. I think that you can take Jeff Wilson to score a touchdown. I would firmly expect him to get an ample amount of touches today and to just absolutely hammer in this one because of how bad the Texans run D is. Now, for fantasy, you can start all the other normal guys that you start. I mean, obviously you're not benching Tyreek, you're not benching Waddle, et cetera, et cetera. That's, that's not even a question. The one guy you might want to consider benching in this one, if you are amply stocked at running back, is Dameon Pierce. The Dolphins rank 10th in points allowed to running backs, and you started to see Pierce hit the rookie wall a little bit last week, where he had 10 carries for 8 yards against a middling Giants defense. So and also with the Texans going on the road and being huge underdogs for this one, it's really hard to see a positive game script for Dameon Pierce. If your other options are just a bunch of crap, I wouldn't let it dissuade you from starting him. But I think that he's probably one of those second tier guys that you can consider leaving on the bench today.
So what do you like in this matchup here?
Yeah, why you do Roddy like that, though? That's funny as shit.
Click the wrong ass button. That's what this touchscreen does.
In this one, I'm going Jeff. I like Jeff Wilson. Obviously, like you said, fits the offense perfectly. Houston has gotten smoked. Houston has gotten absolutely smoked against opposing teams' run game. So yeah, I like Jeff Wilson. I'm also taking Tyreek to score another touchdown. I think that as much as Tyreek has been a great soldier this season, I think he wants to get in the end zone a couple times. I see him playing in the slot a lot today. I do think that Waddle actually will have his hands full with Derek Stingley Jr., who's yet to give up a touchdown on the outside, by the way, which is absolutely incredible for a rookie corner. I know a lot of people get on the internet and they give Sauce Gardner a blowjob every opportunity they get because he's playing for a defense where he might not even be the best fucking corner on the team. But Derek Stingley has been equally as good in his rookie season, and people just want to get on here and lie. They just want to get on the internet and lie. They did because it sounds good to say, "Oh, he's so good." Stingley's going to play, and even if he doesn't, then then Waddle and both go crazy. Waddle and Reek. I mean, it's 100 yards. I think 100 yards and a touchdown each is worth the bet. Given that if you take Stingley away from that defensive backfield, they're not good. Petrie's going to be good though as a rookie. He's performed very well for Houston, so I think that Petrie will be good. But again, for this matchup, it's Dolphins everything. I'm not high on Kyle Allen, and for them to make this move it's clearly another tank maneuver. I mean, they gave Davis Mills every opportunity to see if he had any traits that were more than, a backup quarterback on a bad team or a backup quarterback just in general. If Kyle Allen's your starting quarterback, you're going nowhere fast. So there's nothing I can take. And I like what you said in regards to Dameon Pierce. Like, with a backup quarterback, why would you? Why?
Yeah. I mean, it might be easy to see him getting a bunch of carries early, but when there's nothing to really make you scared about anything on the outside for throwing, it's really hard. Especially with just watching him run last week, looked about a quarter of a step slower, looked to be a little bit sluggish. And like I said, I think that was probably part of that, maybe hitting the rookie wall. And I know Eddie said that the Jeff Wilson ATD, I know it's crazy juice this morning. I would actually look at Jeff Wilson 2+ touchdowns plus 230 as a nice little flyer to take, because it's very easy to see him getting in the end zone twice with as bad as this run defense is. The ATD for Wilson was significantly better yesterday afternoon, but that was before everybody kind of the news kind of got out that Mostert wasn't going to play.
All right, so we're going to get into some of the more better matchups right after this one. Then we'll bring in our first analyst, because we're all dying to talk about the top quarterback matchup of the day. Simeon versus White. 7-point spread. Looking out my window, it's going to be muggy and gross out there today in North Jersey. Sosa, anyway, the Bears win this one outright.
Fuck no. Absolutely not. Like, we watched Zach Wilson, right? Like, no one could play the quarterback position worse than him. Like, no one. You add Mike. If Mike White just doesn't turn the fucking ball over, the Jets should beat the shit out of the Bears, respectfully. And it's because they finally put an offense out there on the field that's designed for the quarterback that they expect to be a star. And if you take him out of the offense, it's just not going to work. You're not going to replace him with Trevor Siemian. Have you seen Trevor Siemian try to run a read option ever in your life? No, they're in big trouble. You're going to give Saleh a statue to run that pass rush at? Good luck. I like the Jets to win and cover. It also comes back to something I talk about all the time: the drop off between a starter and a backup quarterback in the NFL. No matter what the starter's name is, unless it's maybe Jameis Winston, it's a precipitous drop off from 1 to 2 in the entire NFL. So you take Justin Fields away from this offense, I feel as though the offense no longer exists. So the Jets should be able to tee off pretty well against Trevor Siemian. I like the Jets defense in fantasy football today. If you're streaming a defense, the Jets should be at the top of your list. No Justin Fields. I mean, if you've been watching them,
I got him
5 weeks, right? I picked him up too in like 3 leagues. If he's not playing, the offense does not exist. He has been the engine and what has carried this offense over the last 6 weeks. I mean, if you've been watching the games. So in this one, I like the Jets to win and cover. I wouldn't be surprised. I was going to possibly give it a quarter, see if, maybe Trevor Siemian can keep it close and you get a better number on the Jets. But like I said, I think that this team rallies around White. I think that Zach Wilson has rubbed his teammates the wrong way, and they simply just don't like the guy. I think they go out there, they play for Mike White, and I think they ball out today. I think the Jets handle business. That's just my anticipation.
Yeah, for fantasy and for DFS, I would probably just leave this game alone. The only one that I could see as a viable start would be David Montgomery, just because he matched a season high last week with 17 carries, and Khalil Herbert is still out. So he's really a volume-based running back too. I wouldn't expect a ton of production, but chances are that if you're deciding between him and somebody else on your team, it's probably a very similar tiered option, and he's probably going to get the volume. Other than that, for fantasy for this week and for DFS, I am not touching any piece of this game besides the Jets D. That's it.
All right, let's bring in the first analyst to be joining us. Let's hope the vibes are a little bit higher and he just completely blacked out what happened last night and worries about
What happened last night?
We'll ask him.
Nothing happened last night.
We'll see you in Atlanta.
Sure,
you know what?
Go with that.
I know.
Look at this dude, Roddy.
Loss.
Look at what is Roddy doing. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I can bring him back on again by accident.
Yeah. This dude.
It was a tough loss. I'll take it. I'll take responsibility. I've watched 5 games away from home in this season, and LSU's 2-3. So it's just on me.
Fault.
I need to be better for my team, for my coach. So next year, we're gonna step up. We're gonna attack each week with the right preparation, and hopefully we get it done. But I just wasn't there last night. So,
bro, y'all got put on the hub by a dude named Moose. That's crazy. That sounds nuts.
I barely even got to watch it. It was my personal hell. Like I was out at a bar. I'm just so glad Notre Dame lost. I'm sorry, Sosa. It's nothing. Like it's nothing against you. It's nothing against you. It's nothing against you. I was out in a bar
I'm glad you lost too, bro.
No. Listen, I'm decked out in all this LSU gear out in public in a bar in Indy, and there's just Notre Dame fans everywhere.
This was Sam this morning. You know the Homer Simpson gif with so this morning he had the LSU hat and he disappeared. And then he just popped up in the Bengals shit. There he is, man. Fuck that team. Fuck that season. It's over. Muhsin Muhammad's son. I know that, dog. I know. But it's
not over.
Because ESPN spelled it moose, the actual fucking animal. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That sounds about right.
Sorry, that was funny as hell.
All right, back to the show that we're supposed to be having today. If you like pay for play, that usually happens because we get a little bit more wet and wild on Saturday mornings here. But Sam, what do we like in this matchup here?
I got 4 plays. I think it's going to be a tight game, obviously, with just how well Mike Vrabel's coached the defense. I think they'll be able to get pressure on Burrow. Offensive line's improved, but I still think Tennessee's pass rush is going to be able to get home a couple of times. I just don't think it's going to be to the volume of 9 sacks like it was in the playoff game last year. I got Cincinnati money line, Hayden Hurst anytime touchdown plus 310, and Joe Burrow over 37.5 pass attempts. I think the running game's going to be a little less it's not going to be used as much. I think they're going to use more quick passes out of the backfield, try to get players in space. That's an even money plus 100. And then I also have Derrick Henry under 97.5 rushing yards at minus 115. In games against DJ Reader in his career, these are the yards he's had: 62, 86, 56, 37, 65, and 109. So he's crossed the century mark one time against DJ Reader. I think DJ Reader and the defense is the running defense is back to the strength that we saw last year at the end of the season. And the way you're going to have to beat this team with the corners out and the injuries in the secondary is going to be through the air. So I maybe take some shots on some receiving props, maybe Tannehill props. I don't know if he's able to get it done, but that's just how I think they're going to have to beat him because Derrick Henry hasn't been very efficient against teams with DJ Reader being in the middle.
Spin, do you really think the Bengals should be slight of the smallest road favorites here?
To me, this game is essentially a pick 'em, especially without Chase in the lineup for the Bengals. For fantasy here, I don't really have a take on the game, but for fantasy, I mean, obviously, if you have Burrow, you're starting him. If you have Henry, you're starting him. If you have T. Higgins or probably Boyd, you're going to start both of them too. But the one that I would probably try to shy away from in this game would be Samaje Perine. So obviously with Mixon out, he's going to be the lead ball carrier. But when I say lead ball carrier, it's in quotations, because usually in games like this, when Mixon is either struggling or out, the Bengals just take to the air. That's probably going to be expounded today by the fact that the Titans rank fifth in points allowed to running backs, but they rank 25th in points allowed to wide receivers. So I think that any of the Bengals receiving options make sense. I like the Hayden Hurst look, but if you picked up Samaje Perine off the wire this week, expecting him to be a savior for you or like a bye week fill-in, it's a tough proposition because
I think you get more Chris Evans than Samaje Perine. I said I think you get more Chris Evans just out of.
You might.
He likes to line up. They like to line him up in the slot, maybe out wide, and he's good in space against linebackers. And Joe Burrow's hit him a couple of times for big plays down the sidelines, in a role that you probably don't usually see for a running back. So I think with how they're going to have to throw the ball, give me all the Joe Burrow props.
Yeah. No Trent Irwin love so far. I know Sosa was about to hype him up.
Listen, my favorite play in this game is Joe Burrow to throw an interception. It's at -114. No lead running back, no number one receiver. This Tennessee team plays very, very good defense. The back end is very solid. They play a lot of 5, 6, sometimes 7 defensive backs, guys that are willing to put a hat on people and actually tackle. Byard's having another great season in the back end. Christian Fulton's having a good year too. I think Joe Burrow throws a pick in this one. And when you get it at close to even, I like it.
We'll pick on Christian Fulton all night.
Right. I'm just saying. I like Higgins, but no Mixon. If you're telling me that Joe Burrow is going to drop back here 50 plus times, which is probably what we're looking at in this one, like he's going to drop back anywhere from 40 to 55 times, 45 to 55 times today. I can't see them attempting to run with backup running backs right at Jeffrey Simmons. That usually doesn't work well. I'm on everything Burrow wise. I think he throws a bunch of passes. I think he probably throws 3 or 4 touchdowns, possibly. And I think that he could throw 2 or 3 picks, given just the volume that this game's going to be won and lost on Joe Burrow's right shoulder for the Bengals today. And I like that. I like the Evans look too. I think Evans is a player who he's one of those guys like DeAndre Swift. Like he has talent, but you just don't know if the coach is going to give him any opportunities that week. We've seen it. We've seen the talent pop on tape, and we've seen him make some plays here and there, but it's just about opportunity for him. And when you have a lead running back like a Joe Mixon, who's going to get the majority of the volume, you just don't know when he's going to get the opportunities. I think I like him today too as well. I think he's a nice little weapon given the players that they're down. I think that don't be surprised if Trent Taylor gets the ball a couple times on some end arounds too. Like they sprinkled in some little innovative, like I wouldn't call them necessarily innovative, just some small creative things here and there. I'm not going to give Zach Taylor too much credit, but they've done it here and there.
Don't do that.
But that's all I'm on. I mean, it's hard for me to bet against Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry probably does go for 100 personally, but the stat that you read back there, I'm like, yeah, now I'm on the fence.
Don't worry, I'm not going against Burrow here. It's really what I got to worry about.
Yeah, just one real quick stat about the Burrow interception thing. Burrow this year, so he's thrown 39 or more passes 3 times in a game, and in those games he has thrown 6 total interceptions in 3 games. So pure volume would dictate that. You can actually get 2+ interceptions right now. I think I'm looking for almost plus 500 or maybe even a little bit better.
And all 6 of them came against the Steelers.
What's that?
All 6 of them came against the Steelers.
That they did.
I'm not going to blame him for the 2 that he had last week. Those were a little fluky, but I mean, the stats are there. So,
I mean, listen,
it counts as an interception
hurts.
either way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, dog. No chase hurts. It hurts everything they want to do in Cincinnati when you eliminate the best player on the team. And I said it. He's the best player on the team.
Well, Sam, we appreciate you tapping in with us. We'll catch you next week.
For sure.
All right, first head-to-head we got on the board today, so you and I can finally get the drop out. It's going to pay back for me later because I'm going to have to do a head-to-head I don't want to do. But maybe it'll become 10 o'clock and I'll conveniently have to go before my head-to-head comes up. But you know our man Bullpen Bets from PickCity.com. Make sure you're following him on Twitter and checking him out there. Going against Spin. Let's see how this one goes.
Go ahead.
What's up, buddy? Hey,
Home
man.
team first.
Yeah, it's going to be a little wet up there today. So, and obviously the Bucs should win. The Browns they're done. They cashed it in. It sucks too because I was looking forward to Watson coming back and us still being in the hunt. But just not, just wasn't there. It just wasn't our season. So we'll see how it goes next year with Watson. But appreciate the DFS picks this morning. They are in my inbox. You missed me a couple weeks, but that's all right.
I know.
Yeah, no, I know you were busy. I appreciate it. The only play I got that I'm like actually betting and giving out is the under 42. I think they both try to run the ball a lot here. And recently I've had a lot of success with betting unders on props, especially receiving props. Now, what I've been picking up is you got to stay away from the number one guy. The St. Brown kid from the Lions, he got me the other day. Yeah, I had under 99 and he got it on that last drive. But if you stay away from the number one guy, these other receivers haven't been hitting it. And I've been cleaning up on that. So that's an angle to look at. Like Donovan's Peoples-Jones. Yeah. Obviously you don't want to bet under on Cooper anytime ever because
that's hard.
Yeah.
Same thing with Evans.
Exactly. And it pretty much goes for any team. Like if you stay away from that number one receiver, the second and third tier guys haven't been producing as well. And a lot of these games, I don't have the exact statistics, but 60, 65%, a lot of these games are staying under the total, which helps your under receiving bet. So that's what I got. I'm on the under. I think it's 42.
Yeah, it is right now.
What do you think about that? What do you got?
Yeah,
was you on that?
Yeah, I agree with the under because of the rain. Also with Leonard Fournette out, Rachaad White is going to make his I guess technically his second start. There was the one game where Lenny didn't start, but he came in right away. But no, so right now this line has been sitting pretty comfortably all week at Bucks -3, 65% of the bets, 52% of the money. And then obviously the inverse for Cleveland on here, that is pretty well indicative of public betting. There's not a whole lot you can discern from that one. Same thing here with the total. It's actually, I think, it's either 42 or 42.5. Most people are on the under, 63% of the bets and 73% of the money. That is to be expected with the weather going on. My big thing here, and Bullpen, I know this was in the thing that I sent you. It's all going to be almost impossible for me to make a cash DFS lineup this week without Rachaad White. He played superb in relief of Lenny after he hurt his hip out in Germany, rushed for over 100 yards. He's caught 20 of 25 targets this year. With the weather going to be what it is, I would expect a lot more short passing. And he was he was rated the best pass catching back coming out of last year's draft stock. So I think that it plays extremely well. I think in any PPR format, basically, let me put it this way. If you have Rachaad White on a fantasy team, you need to find a way to get him into your lineup today. And I don't say that I guess I say that a little bit as a homer. But Cleveland ranks 31st in points allowed to running backs. They rank sub 25 in rushing DVOA. This is just a game where the weather and the script really lead to Rachaad White. So love the kid, love what he's given us so far. I think that you can take any of his props, really. I think you can take an ATD for him. So other than that, I'm with you on the under. I'm with you on some of the under receiving props. I think that some of them have not been all entirely adjusted yet due to the weather that's going to be expected out there. And, the thing with that is some of those just like more annoyance rains where it's not raining hard enough to be like a downpour, but it's just hard enough where it's off and on, and it messes up your timing and messes up your cutting and your planting. That can lead to some wet and wild games, and that can lead to some low scores. So yeah, totally with you on that one. I raw numbers would suggest that both Brady and Brissett go over their passing yards. However, with the weather going to be what it is, I don't think I can take either one for this one.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And the wind, it's supposed to, they'll have a little bit of wind, which will help our under on the receiving and the passing. And it affects the field goals. So that can help your under also. As far as the White kid goes, Smurf was just talking about the Evans kid with Cincinnati. Is there anyone, so who's after White? Like, obviously, he's not going to get all the carries and all the run.
Gio's back.
So is that something that we'd be interested in playing, or?
Nah, I don't know. His first game back, that's hard.
Right.
I would expect him just to be used in just a few
third down situations.
Third down specialty situations here. So yeah, I personally think that they're going to feed White. I really do.
Yeah, same. The Chris Evans take was interesting though. Like that was a good little that could be sneaky today in that Bengals game. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. Thanks for having me on. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Hopefully we win all the money.
Rough season. I got to say this to you before you get out of here. Rough season. But I can't lie. There's hope. There's hope for the future in Cleveland.
Ooh.
Damn.
There's hope. I agree.
There's hope for the future. I don't want you to be too down on this season. The NFL structured that suspension to kind of make sure that you guys weren't in contention. Everyone knows what Jacoby Brissett is in the NFL. He's not a floor raiser. He's an average NFL quarterback that you can get by with for about a 3 to 4 week span, but skill set is limited, and there's only so much you can do with them. Next year, you'll have your franchise quarterback from day one. I think that a combination of him with the run game and Amari Cooper and added draft picks and a shit ton of money, I think there's plenty of opportunity here for Cleveland to be good in the near future, just not this season.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Sosa on the anytime goal scorers on this World Cup.
Hey man, we just out here trying to get all the money, like you said. That's all I'm here for. I'm trying to get all the money, every sport.
Nah, man, good job.
Appreciate you.
Yep. See you guys.
Till next week, bullpen. We out. So we got about 4 games left on the slate. We'll get into the Chargers, Cardinals real quickly. Then we'll have the Niners versus the Saints. Then we'll touch Rams, Chiefs, and then we'll wrap it with Birds, Packers. 4 games.
Word.
Let's try to get these through quickly here. Quick hits here because we got analysts for the next 2 games. Maybe Roddy will finally get in his chair unless he wants to just take the episode from the ground.
Roddy's looking like he's down bad right now. But he showed up. He'll be here just fine. Don't worry.
Sosa, any quick hits here for the Chargers versus the Cardinals?
I'm on everything in regards to DeAndre Hopkins and Marquise Brown. I think they both are going to perform very well today. Hollywood Brown back for the first time. I did sprinkle him to score a touchdown at plus 250 prior to him getting injured. Fit the offense perfectly. Dortch out. Ertz out. It's going to be the Hollywood Brown and DeAndre Hopkins show. It's going to be Hopkins to the right, Hopkins to the left. And then it's going to be, Hollywood over the top, Hollywood over the middle. Hey, it's going to be their show today. I don't really think there's much discussion required in this one, right? Like it should be their show. I like the over too. I think both teams come out here perform well. Would not be surprised if Justin Herbert threw the ball 8 million times. I mean, obviously we're going to go with Austin Eckler, but everything's juiced. with him getting in the end zone. You'd have to bet him to get 2 touchdowns, if anything. Although, running backs perform well against running backs in the passing game and perform well against Arizona. So again, for me, I'm rocking with. I like the full game over. I like DeAndre Hopkins to get 100 yards. I think his number was like at 83.5. Is what we got it at. Hold on, let me just confirm that number. Yeah, DeAndre at 83.5, and I played him at 90 plus from plus 122, and obviously Hollywood Brown anytime touchdown plus 250. I just think that it's an offensive showdown, and you're going to get a wide open offensive matchup. I don't expect there to be a shit ton of defense played, and I could be wrong, but I do believe that both offenses get off, especially with getting Kyler back. So those are just what I anticipate for this one.
Yeah, this game can possibly be a DFS stacking game if that's the route that you go, which I personally do. I think that you can stack it any which way that you want. You can stack, for example, Herbert, and I would actually, instead of stacking Keenan Allen, I would stack Josh Palmer because you got no Mike Williams, and Palmer has seen, I think it's 6 targets in a game in the last 4. He's has a great catch rate. He's scored a few times. So I think that with Mike Williams out, I think that there's a great scenario here for him to get the lesser cornerbacks and a whole bunch of targets. So actually, I'm sorry, he averaged 10 targets and 78 yards over the last 4 games. Byron Murphy is out. I wouldn't be opposed at all to a Josh Palmer ATD bet because of that reason. And I think that you can stack Herbert, Palmer, and Eckler, and then you can run it back on the other side with Hopkins, fill in some lower cost options in the rest of your lineup. And that to me is a lineup that I am liking quite a bit. Another way you can do it, which would be lesser owned, is you can stack Kyler, Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, and then run it back with Palmer and Eckler. You can do that as well.
I like it. Well, quick hits on that one. Let's get to our next head-to-head matchup here. So me and Spin will get the drop out. We need a little bit more fire because that first head-to-head, I know it's hard to hype up the Browns. Let's see how much Roddy can hype up his Saints.
Do what now? What am I supposed to be doing? Hyping up what and what team?
Finished. You're finished. Wallahi, you're finished. Wallahi, you're finished.
You're done,
You don't even
dog.
know Arabic.
It's over for you, okay? It's done. The season's over. Why are you even here? I'm just glad that she showed up so you don't have to take a fine, all right? I'm going to just make it simple for you. We're going to beat the shit out of y'all. On regular grass, it's going to be a bad showing. Y'all don't have no chance. I don't even know why you showed up today. You're hungover. You should have just took the day off. Like, we're going to cover the 9.5. The offense is rolling. I'm not worried about anybody on your defense. I'm not worried about anybody on offense. I like Chris Olave. He probably end up with like 70 yards, but y'all going to get smoked, bro. Thank you for coming.
Was that a genuine thank you, or are you just saying that? Is that just
no? I'm happy you made it.
Okay.
I'm very happy you made it.
Yeah. Biggest number of the season. There's no reason, right? No logical reason for me to go with the New Orleans Saints or back anything that they've been doing. Of course, every single player we have is on IR. We're fielding a basic. I think we have the same team Arch Manning plays with on Friday. They just double back that team over on Sunday, and then they put them out on the field in Saints uniforms. So that's what we're working with right now. Marshawn is getting healthy, but he's not coming back today. So
he's not coming back this season, dog. Pack that shit up.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him. Why would he?
Fucking over, man.
I mean, look. All that being said, this is the biggest number of the season, like by a considerable margin. I think it's by like 14 points. Yeah, and I would have took the 14 too, and that's why we're taking the 9 with the Saints. Okay, I know y'all think I'm crazy as hell, but again, this is the biggest number of the season by a considerable margin.
Head. Yes, this is bad. This is not what he's doing right here. Is not good.
Biggest number by a considerable margin in the season. I understand y'all just went to Mexico City, Viva la Mexico, you know what I'm saying? Vamos, you know what I'm saying? All that World Cup stuff, all right? But I'm telling you, all right, those type of performances usually don't happen back to back. Now, I do count on y'all to still like come out in the second half and be dominant. Like,
Did you say it doesn't happen back to back? Because it's been 3 straight games that we haven't given up a single point in the second half.
Yeah, but y'all been playing scrubs, man. It don't matter. Y'all been playing scrubs. It don't matter. We not scrubs. We just injured.
All right.
I tried to say that with a straight face.
So what are your plays, man?
Yeah, I'm taking the 9. Like I said, I'm taking the 9.
Okay.
The team total for the Saints is at like 16.5, which is like a weird ass number.
You're gonna take the under, right?
I mean, we can't get 2 touchdowns at a field goal.
Yeah, I'll be lucky to get 10 points, my boy. I'm telling you right now, I'll be lucky to get 10 points.
We're not doing that. I'm taking the Saints team total over 16.5 too. I'm telling you, like, it's not, again, like, when I say I'm taking this bet, that doesn't mean that the Saints are going to come out and be offensively, you know what I'm saying, good.
I got a CBS receipt for this one. Shout out to I got all the plays in this one. Just take the plays I'm about to give you in this one, and you probably don't have to bet any other plays the rest of the game or the rest of the day because it's about to be so easy. It's about to be so sweet playing the New Orleans Saints.
And then I got one more play. I got Jimmy G under 240 yards. I mean, look, I do understand that, you know, he has a bevy of weapons, you know, he can spread the ball around, yada, 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 whatever. McCaffrey's going to be good in the passing game too today. But I think the key strategy is going to be to run the ball. I mean, the offensive line for the Niners, obviously one of the best in football, and the Saints D line is still banged up. And, you know, a lot of players, Cam Jordan's going to be back, but it's still, it's not where it should be. So I think they're going to control possession, you know what I'm saying, eke this win out. But 9 points, I can't see it, bro. I cannot see a double-digit victory today.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
I can go now and get my plays.
Of course.
Roddy's trying to owe you 2 lunches, it sounds like.
Right. That's what she already owe me one. We go and run it
Wait,
back.
Wait. I owe you 1 lunch for what? For Vandy?
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, what do you mean? I told you they would get fucking curb stomped, and you told me no. You told me they were going to cover. They got beat by fucking 50.
9.
59.
Yeah.
Sorry, almost 60. I was trying to be nice. I forgot that we don't always round up on this show.
Hey, at least we didn't lose to Texas A&M.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not an LSU fan. Fuck them. All right.
No, that was for my personal feelings.
Here's where we're at. Listen, we're going under 54.5 rushing yards for Christian McCaffrey. I know people think the number's great. I think he goes under 54, but I think that what we're going to do is we're going to go to over 37 on his receiving yards. We're going to go under his rushing. Christian McCaffrey is going to be used in the passing game. I don't think we exceed volume for him running the ball, especially getting Eli Mitchell back. Eli Mitchell's been the best. He's the best zone runner in the crew of running backs. So what you do is you find one-on-ones with Christian McCaffrey all over the field. Elijah Mitchell is your 7-yard back. Late in games, use him to salt games away. McCaffrey over 37.5 receiving, under 54.5 rushing. Also, shout out to my boy Eddie, who actually I wouldn't say he brought to my attention, but he had sent me a text, and I'm like reading the text, and I thought he was saying like to take the over in his rushing yards. But again, just the way that the carries have been divvied up between them the last 2 weeks, you got to take the under on his rushing, the over on his receiving. Anytime touchdowns that I like are, of course, Christian McCaffrey. It's juiced to the 9s at -165. Parlay piece for sure. Brandon Ayuk at +135. Elijah Mitchell is +165. And our flyer of the day is going to be Jawan Jennings +425. Andy Dalton to throw an interception as well. Would not be surprised if the San Francisco defense was able to come back with a touchdown, but I'm not betting it. Jawan Johnson, though, is my home run play. See, he knows we're on the same page. Jawan Jennings for me, not Johnson. Jawan Johnson is the tight end for New Orleans. I'm talking about the receiver for San Francisco.
Yeah, the Tennessee Volunteer. See how that works?
And maybe Jawan Johnson does score. He's having a pretty damn good year. But I'm not betting too many tight ends against those linebackers that play for San Francisco, respectfully. Outside of maybe Travis Kelce, who really didn't put us on the hub. He played okay.
Yeah, if you're betting on Adam Troutman, and I love Jawan Johnson, but It's Adam Troutman and Juwan Johnson against two of the
Yeah, I
best
hate his
linebacker
wife,
quarters in
man.
football.
God, she's fucking annoying on Instagram, bro. Jesus
Yeah,
fuck.
not the best. Not the best.
Feel
not
sorry
the
for
best.
that guy. Free that man.
Yeah,
All right, my
not the
bad. Go
best.
ahead.
I was about to say, Roddy, we appreciate you tapping in. We know you're going to bring the heat to Sam big time now, because if you're going to drop it to them, what the hell do you
Who?
think is going to happen in ATL?
Who?
No, Roddy and Sam have
Who
the
scored?
head-to-head.
He scored again? Morocco just scored again, dog.
Extra time goal.
What the fuck? Bro.
Belgian tears.
How much
Belgian
money is this?
tears.
Roddy, I'll
Yeah.
see you next weekend. All right, we're running up right at that crunch time scenario. So we got 2 games left. Let's hopefully we can wrap these up. I don't know. Chuck, we appreciate you showing up for this one. You can give Bryce Perkins and Ben Saronic whatever you want to give them.
You're more than welcome
You
to lie
saw
about
Fox
them on
on
this
ESPN, Fox on the game to even put anyone up for the Rams. It was just Mahomes chilling up there when they're hyping up the weekend slate because they couldn't even include a single Rams player. Let's hear it.
First off, before I break down this game, man, it took them a minute to realize that, oh, they still got Aaron Donald. Let's put him on the graphic. It took them a long time to figure that out, first off. Second of all, Sosa, the only reason why you said Travis Kelce played okay against y'all because he didn't get in the end zone. He had 98 yards receiving. Stop the cap, man. Anyway, let's get down to this game.
I'm supposed to be impressed by that?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, just remember, Gronk had 74 fucking touchdowns before he turned 27. And you guys get on the internet and fucking lie about Kelce every fucking week. Just remember that. Just remember that.
Hey.
Just remember that.
Listen, Gronk is a dog, man. I ain't arguing against that. But anyway.
I like Travis better. That's just me.
I bet you do. You probably like his brother best.
That's a fact.
No shit.
Yeah, shout out to New Heights, man. That's a great podcast. Anyway,
It is fucking fire.
Anyway, yeah, I ain't got much to say, man. I mean, the Rams, they got Bryce Perkins making his first career start. And we was in the scenario last year when that bum Aaron Rodgers all of a sudden got COVID, allegedly. But anyway, we was in a situation last year. We had Jordan. We was going against Jordan Love at Green Bay, and Jordan Love, he didn't do much of anything. The spread is at minus 15.5, man. I can't do the full game spread, but what I will do as far as the spread, I'll play that third quarter at -3. I'll play that. But other than that, man, we should be able to stop the Rams. But I see a scenario where, you know, we'd be up by like 21 points, and then all of a sudden we get backdoored. But I know we gotta wrap this up real quick, Rest. So I'm gonna get going here. Let me go on and get to the plays, man. Travis Kelce, I mean, I like him over 78.5 yards, -115. You should be able to get that no problem. This game of the week, you know, usually when it's game of the week or it's prime time, he shows up. And then also, man, I'm gonna go ahead and make a prediction right now. I can see him getting 2 tutties in this one, +310. So that's my 2 plays with Travis Kelce right there. Patrick Mahomes, I like him for over 283.5 passing yards, -115. He's cleared this number all except one game this year, and that was in week 2 against the Chargers. But other than that, he's cleared that number every game. Let's see here. I like Isaiah Pacheco. It looked like the Chiefs are finally establishing a run, and you can run on the Rams, man. And we got a guy in Joe Tooney who has owned Aaron Donald in every single matchup. So I like Pacheco. I like Pop for over 62.5 rushing yards. It's at -135. Next up, I got Juju at over 55.5 receiving yards at -115. I got Noah Gray over 13.5 receiving yards at -115. The tight ends against this type of scheme, they usually have no issue, you know, getting open, you know, finding space and, you know, making the catch. So Noah Gray's been playing pretty well in this limited role this year. So I got him for that. As far as my other anytime touchdown stuff, I'm going to go ahead and say the Chiefs, man. The Chiefs, it's time, man. It's time for the defense to get a score, man. So +500, I think it's going to be like a strip sack by Frank Clark and somebody picks it up and scores for the touchdown.
You mean they're going to duplicate the same thing they did last year on the same week when Melvin Ingram got the fumble and they just took it to the crib?
Yeah, that's what basically going to happen today.
Okay.
So,
I see what you're doing here. I see that. I see
Yeah.
what you're going. See where you're going with this.
Yep. Exactly. All right. And then as far as like, like game props and stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and make this prediction right here. I'm gonna go ahead and say the first score at over 22.5 yards and minus 115. I'm gonna do that. And then just to wrap it up, man, if I had to choose like a Ram to do something today, I'll look at Kyron Williams, man. What's that? Over 9.5 for his longest rush at minus 115. Like our run defense ain't really been the greatest this year. I think you should be able to get that whether the Rams get stomped out or not. And then if I had to do like an anytime touchdown, let's say if the Rams do get in the end zone, I'll put them down for plus 425 for anytime TD. And then that's a wrap for me, man. We should be able to win this game, no problem.
No Sky Moore talk. You're like the first Chiefs guy not to hype him up.
I was gonna say I'm on Sky Moore today.
Yeah, I like Sky
Why?
Moore. I didn't say Sky Moore for a reason because Spin, he was already on Sky Moore. That's why.
Because Sky Moore sucks.
I'm
You
gonna let
mean
you have that.
Sure.
Excuse me, sir.
he sucks?
Man, shut your ass up.
He fucking stinks.
Shut your ass
Y'all
up.
got y'all. He not good, bro. That motherfucker done made
Okay.
me a liar. He stinks.
Okay.
Fuck that guy.
Okay.
Sky Moore.
Sound good.
First,
But my thing
What's
is
the
this:
sense?
why the fuck was he returning punts? He ain't never done that. Not near, not a day in his fucking life. What do y'all be doing with? That's what made me dislike him, dog. He cost you money a couple times doing dumb shit that he shouldn't have been on the fucking field doing. So
his first game with extended action because surprise, surprise, Kadarius Toney is hurt.
Yeah.
6 targets, 5 catches, 63 yards. What like
man, they got to get Kadarius Toney some milk. I don't know what's wrong with him, bro.
Bruh.
That motherfucker's made
never
a
going to be healthy. He's never going to be healthy.
You know
Giants-
what's
the
the
Giants
wildest thing about Tony? I don't think he has eyebrows.
He doesn't.
Listen, bro, he's just he's a different type of character. All right.
Like what?
I like the guy. I got nothing else to really say. Like I'm rocking with him. I'm not gonna front. I don't want no problems with him or any of his homies. I can just tell that now. So
I'm in
Yeah.
a situation where I'm deciding between starting Jahan Dotson or Sky Moore. So that's why I was hoping Chuck was going to hype it up. But I think
I mean, you could start him. He's startable. You know what I mean? But like,
Jahan Dotson or Sky Moore? Oh, Sky
Yeah.
Moore, easy.
I mean, I just looked at the Spin because Spin already had to play down last night, so I was gonna leave it to him if he had anything to say on this one. So that's why I didn't say his name.
Sky Moore, you guys are crazy, man.
Sky Moore over receiving yards.
Yeah, that's easy.
I'm a big hater. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you hate. Yeah, you just hate, dog. You talking about me being Silky Johnson? I think you the one, bro.
Hey, man, it's okay, bro. Hate.
Hey.
well, Chuck, we appreciate you tapping in with us. We know you'll be going live pregame or postgame or maybe even both. So follow him on Twitter for Kingdom Cast to be tapped in with him over there as well and sub to his YouTube channel as well.
Hold on. I'm also more buck nasty than Silky Johnson. If you know, you know.
Yeah, rest in paradise, Charlie Murphy.
Absolutely.
All right, last game. Oh, I removed the wrong person. I love doing that. My finger's bad today. Last game of the day. Birds, Packers. Not too sure why we even need to discuss this one here. But we're bringing in our man Prop to at least the time here.
Yo,
How we feeling?
got fucking Chuck off the screen, man, and he was killing me. The same game that he's talking about that Jordan Love played. Mahomes played like shit, bro. 37.
His mic's messed up, Sosa, right?
Yeah,
Is
your
that
mic
the-
is messed up. Your mic is messed up.
Hold on, let me.
Yep, it's the AirPods. Yep.
Am I good now? Oh, wait.
Give him a second to get it ready. I was just pulling it up just to make sure I wasn't tripping or my brain wasn't finally frying on this Sunday morning.
I thought it was Lawrence Fishburne from
Am I good now? I'm good now.
Nah, you got to leave. Come back.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's all
what the
good.
fuck?
What do you liking this one here, Sosa?
It's,
I gotta
yo,
save
Rex
all
did
my
that,
stuff
dog. Rex
for-
fucked up your shit. Huh?
Yeah, I fucked up the shit. I got to save all my stuff for the head-to-heads. I was about to say, what do you like here in this one?
I'm running back the same play as last week. It's the Eagles team total under 26.5. You guys have been figured out. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. If Jalen Hurts doesn't put you guys in his fucking backpack last week, y'all don't walk out of Indy with the win. Respect to him, though. I mean, I will. That's the one thing I gotta show love. Yeah, I gotta show love. Yo, Prop, close the app and then rejoin through the link because your connection is just completely off right now. What was I saying? I feel as though you guys have been figured out. It's not very difficult, in my opinion, to defend a Jalen Hurts. I know it's cool to, talk about how you guys have pieces around him. Listen, I'm still to the belief that everything has to be perfect against Jalen Hurts to beat good teams. Everything's got to be perfect. The receivers got to be good. The running backs got to be good. The defense got to be good. And you got to hope that you don't make any mistakes. Because if you turn the ball over with Quez Watkins and Goddard like you did against Washington last week, Indy was able to control the line of scrimmage. Can't control the defense. Made a couple of turnovers or had a couple of plays that result in turnovers. But again, I think it's a close game. I think that you guys don't score 27 points. I think it's a lower scoring game, and I think that's my favorite play at minus 112. I love the.
He sounds good now.
I'm
You
good.
ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell us.
All right, let's hear it. Now we can.
I was just saying, I'm glad y'all got Chuck off the screen spilling that bullshit, man. I hate when he come with that damn rambling, bro. Patrick Mahomes played like shit that game. 37 pass attempts. Well, I just looked it up too. He had 166 yards. Come on with the excuses, man. Look at him talking shit in the mic. Anyway, Packers and Eagles. Like Sosa was saying, I think the method of just being competitive with the Eagles has been running the football. That's something the Packers have been reluctant to do. I would assume they would do it today. I mean, you look at Jonathan Taylor. I think he had, I want to say, was it 27 carries? I mean, when you look at the premier backs, even Washington ran the ball 40 times between Robinson and Gibson. So Aaron Jones over 12.5 rush attempts is sitting at, I think, minus 115 on DraftKings. I like that. But I also like a little lay. I got Christian Watson over 24.5 receiving yards, parlay with Alan Lazard over 39.5 receiving yards. That's plus 115 on DraftKings. The two primary options for Rodgers, I mean, the Eagles, they're not just going to come and just lock Green Bay down like that. You know what I mean? I think the Lions form is a little disrespectful anyway. Lazard's been in like that little window of 46.5 and 45.5 pretty much all season. He's been covering it, pretty comfortably. So he's going to have at least 40 in 7 out of the 9 games he played. So I like him to get 40. And Watson's proven himself as well too. So I think Green Bay will be competitive. I don't think it's going to be a blowout of any proportion like that. I know you got your Eagles shirt on, you know what I'm saying, but it ain't going to be just
got it out of the laundry basket just for today. No, I'm going to be down in the link, so I'll get to see Rodgers do it in person if he wants to show up. That's just where, to you said it, LaFleur decides just to run it up the gut because especially when you get the two older bums that we brought in. I mean, I know a lot of people are hype of bringing in Sue, but that's really just because Cox can't play 60% of the snaps anymore. If they want to have him be at a good level, and we've seen it, he gets worn down by the end of it. Davis being now is over talked about. I mean, I know he's a solid rookie, but he struggled his first few games. Sure, he found to find his group, but teams usually just gone down too much to be able to establish the run and control the game clock, and that's where the last two is the easy narrative there. If Sirianni and Gannon want to keep playing this prevent defense, I don't know if Rodgers is going to have 35 pass attempts this game, or if they're actually going to trust the rush here, because you'll be able to get a bunch of little 3-yard curls and all that shit all day. All the wide receiver screens are going to be there against Gannon. So that's just going to be how quickly does Rodgers get that in that groove and trust his receivers, because I know he finally got Watson, but I think that's the one thing the Eagles do decently well is control the deep. You'll hit them on a long run first before I think you hit them over the top. And on the offensive wise, without Goddard being there, I think the offense is going to struggle more. Sure, he was playing more in the slot and outside the numbers, but now when we're having Stoll be our number one tight end, that's a big thing because now teams key on Brown more, and Smith has been almost neutralized in half of the games so far this season. So that's where with Hurts in the run game here, I think that's just what they do. They control the clock compared to what other teams have done them, and don't try to rely on Hurts' arm in this game.
Yeah, and then I just fact checked it just real quick. Just as far as running backs against the Eagles, Jonathan Taylor had 22 carries. Like I said, Gibson and Robinson had 40 combined. Damian Pierce had 27. Zeke had 13. Pollard had 11. So, I mean, and the Packers, and you see them when they find success, it's because the run game has got going and the 4 wins that they got. So, I mean, I don't get it. I've still been questioning that all season why we're not running the ball more. You know what I mean? But I would think this is the game to do it here today.
6.5, though. I don't know if I can lay a full touchdown. That's the tough part here because I could see this being a 4-point win here with the Packers getting a backdoor score. That's what I think comes in.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying too. And then you got 2 teams. I mean, the Packers' run defense is terrible. Is worse than Philadelphia. So when you get a game script like that where both teams could be running the ball, this game could be over pretty quick too. So
the Eagles do 2 different type of offenses, and that's where when it's, I mean, I know you can go to week 1, week 2, but you could see a lot of RPO with Hurts today. I don't think he needs to take a lot of the unnecessary hits, which is why I think they've gone out of it more and told him not to keep it as much. But yeah, let's run Sanders into the ground tonight might be the best way. I know that's Spin's one player that is like maybe the bane of his existence, and he's extremely hard to predict. I don't know anyone who caps him well. But let's bring in Sosa and Spin to wrap this one up here.
Fucking Miles Sanders.
I might make
Sirianni
it out to the
one
link
game play
for
calling.
that.
All right. That's all I got to say for that one. Fuck them both.
I might make it out to the link tonight for the game. I know Rex is going out there with his pops. Again, for this one, I like AJ Dillon in this matchup. I think that if Green Bay wants to win, a power run game is how you do it. If Green Bay wants to be competitive, a power run game is how you do it. If you want to be successful against the Eagles, a power run game is how you're going to do it. I'm not gonna lie. For us to find out that Rodgers been playing with an avulsion fracture in his thumb, I don't know if that's like fake superhero, like adding CGI characters to the fight
As
scene.
a Packer fan, I don't want
to make it seem like he's a little bit better than of a warrior. Like,
are they going to all white?
I beg your pardon?
Are the Packers going to all white unis today?
I don't know. I know that Rodgers has looked off, whether it's the thumb or not, it's to be determined. I personally believe that AJ Dillon, if he's able to be successful, this game can be close. I don't believe that the Packers have enough to pull out a win, but would not be surprised. I do, like I said, I'm going to say it again. I believe that this Philly team has been figured out. I think that the idea is to make Jalen Hurts beat you throwing the ball. No Goddard. AJ Brown, like you said, Devontae's been neutralized. If Jair can play physical with the receivers on the outside, I think this should be a wildly competitive game. I think it's way too many points. I think that the Packers cover, but I do think the Eagles win the game. I have it somewhere like 21-17, 24-20, something along those lines. I don't think either team scores 30 points. I don't that 26.5. The Eagles are going to have to show me. It's been free money the last couple of weeks, to be totally honest. So, and like I said, the blueprint has been shown. Make Jalen Hurts beat you throwing the rock. And again, if you can do that, you give yourself a great opportunity against this team. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm aligned with you on that one.
Yep.
All right. Well, we appreciate Prop and all of the other analysts joining us for today's episode right at the 1 hour mark. Make sure you follow all of them. Follow them all on Twitter. They're all producing their own content as well. Until next weekend, we'll be back at you live for Sunday morning quarterbacks. We got Daily Bread tomorrow.
10 a.m.
Catching the World Cup, college ball, whatever you're cashing at. All of our analysts follow that as well. So cash with them.
10 a.m. every day.
Peace.
Come rock out with your boy.